Let us discuss the next question now. This is from the year 2018. Which one of the following reflects the most appropriate relationship between law and liberty? One side we have the law, on the other side we have liberty. So we have to find the answer which reflects the best relationship between the liberty and laws. Statement 1 says, if there are more laws, there is less liberty. Statement 2 says, if there are no laws, there is no liberty. Statement 3 says, if there is liberty, laws have to be made by the people. Statement D says, if laws are changed too often, liberty is in danger. Which of the following reflects the most appropriate relationship between law and liberty? On one side, we have law. On the other side, we have liberty. Now, let us look at the statement number 1. If there are more laws, there is less liberty. So here the statement is saying that if we have more number of laws, the laws will restrict the liberty and ultimately our freedom will reduce. Is this correct? If the laws are restrictive laws, then our freedom will be constrained. But what if the laws are positive in nature? What if the laws are something which will try to give you more safeguards, more protection from the arbitrary action of the state? So in that case, even if there are more laws, because it is putting restrictions on the state power, it might enhance your liberty actually. So this is not entirely correct. So this is not the most appropriate answer. We'll keep it on hold. If there are no laws, there is no liberty. Now imagine a situation in the society where there is no government, no laws. What will happen in that situation? Anyone can do anything they want. People will ultimately get into violence and utter chaos because there is no civility, there is no civil society, there is no state, no government, no police. People will start murdering each other because now they can do whatever they want and there is no authority which will put the restrictions on their power. So ultimately, in the situation of no law, the liberty of people will not be there because it will lead to violence and your freedom will be totally impacted. So this does look like the relationship. Statement 3. If there is liberty, laws have to be made by the people. So this statement is saying that if we are having freedom, then the laws have to be made by people only. Not necessary. The laws can be made by government and you can still have freedom. You have an elected government which represents you and they make laws which can safeguard your rights. So the laws are still made by the government and you can have the liberties and safeguards and freedom. So this is also incorrect. If the laws are changed too often, liberty is in danger. How fast or slow we are changing the laws? We cannot say that the liberty will be in danger. Say you are changing the laws which are restricting the freedom and you are changing them too often and you are putting safeguards in the law. In that case, it will enhance the liberty. Whereas if you are changing the laws which are safeguarding the liberties of the people and you are trying to put some unjust laws there, then it will affect the liberty of the danger. So we cannot definitely say that if laws are being changed too often, the liberty is in danger. So out of 1 and 2, the most appropriate and best answer is B here. Now let us look at the political theory and the political perspective for this statement. It was the quote of John Locke which inspired this question, and John Locke said, "The end of the law is not to abolish or to restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom." So it means the end purpose of any law is not to put restrictions and abolish your freedoms, but to enhance and increase your freedoms. How will that happen? Because he believed that the laws will help in protecting the rights of the people. It will help in protecting the freedoms of the people by putting restrictions on the actions of other people. If there are no laws, if there is no state, there is no police, people will get into utter chaos and it will increase the violence. Ultimately, the violence will be so much that the freedom of everyone will be affected. So, liberty is when you have the freedom to be free from the violence and restraint from others. The other people are not being violent towards you. Your life is being safeguarded. Your property is being safeguarded. At the same time, there are some restrictions on the actions of other people so that your life and liberty is safeguarded. So true liberty is when you're free from violence. So for you to be free from violence, there has to be some laws which put the restrictions on the arbitrary action of other people. So there is the need for some law. But the end purpose of the law is not to put restrictions on your freedom, but will to ultimately increase your freedom by putting restrictions on the freedom or the arbitrary actions of the other people. So what will happen in a situation where there is no law? If in this case, if there is no law at all, people will go for arbitrary action, people will go for violence, people will go for utter chaos in the society. There will be no lawlessness there will be lawlessness in the society. There will be no law. Ultimately, it will lead to the infringing of freedom of everyone. So where there is no law, there is no freedom. We need law so that it can help us enhance our freedom. By that logic also, when we say the most appropriate relationship between law and liberty, if there are no laws, there is no liberty. So B is the correct answer.